Welcome back to Keller's Grill Zebo. Underneath this cover, I got a Masterbuilt 800 that I picked up off a marketplace for 400 bucks. Now I bought some of those LS mods for right around 300 bucks. So we're looking at $700 I got invested in this. But once I get it together, it's going to be a beefier model than stock at a lower price. Let's get busy. Now you can see this thing probably wasn't very well taken care of. It was up here in Colorado, left out in the rain and the snow. They didn't have a cover for it, or they said they did, but it tore. I don't know how long it was out, but we're going to replace this kind of stuff. That's the manifold for the griddle. Now I've got the griddle here. That side doesn't look too bad. I'll clean that up, re-oil it, probably re-season it, but that side looks a lot worse. We're going to see what we can do to try to get this thing cleaned up and going. Probably get it going today and cook me some steaks on this thing. Now the instructions say to remove the upper heat shield from the hopper by removing all screws. The 800, 900, and 1050 models require a remover of the hopper lid. Disconnect the wires from the hopper lid switch, which is right there. They don't matter which wires go on the terminal. Remove large screws that hold the upper and lower hopper together and carefully separate the upper and lower hopper. Try not to damage the gasket if possible. If you do damage it, it's fine because they give you some extra gasket material just in case. So let's get busy. Let's take that thing apart, see what we're looking at. There's that hopper switch. I guess it shuts down the fan or something whenever you open it up. It's got to be closed and that fan kicks back on, which blows that heat in from the coals that are going to be down in there. So anyway, we got to take this thing off. It was kind of rusty around there. I cleaned it up a little and sprayed some PAM on it. Got to stop that rust. So once I get this insert down in here, because this is just rusted through and destroyed. I mean, I can see some of the insulation material inside this firebox right here. I can see it already. So we're going to try to get that insert down in there and get this thing going. So I'm going to have to take this off. Looks like we've got 3 screws at the top here. 3 more screws. That's convenient. Got to lift that lid up to get these screws out. Easy to get to. Shouldn't be a problem. Be careful, because there's some sharp edges. Feels like I just got me a little metal splinter. Well, that don't look too bad. I think I did a pretty good job of saving that gasket. But now I want to show you inside here and see what we're looking at. I don't know if you can see that from here, but that's part of the insulation. Now, I guess in the newer models they have fire brick inside there, but this is like cotton, or I don't know, fiberglass, I want to say. Because I mean, it's kind of powdery. Maybe it is brick, I don't know. But it's kind of fiberglass looking material. I can crumble it, it's easy. So anyway, we're going to get this taken care of. I got an insert to put down in here. Because the heat from the charcoals has just rusted everything through. So we're going to get that cleaned up and get that new insert in there. Now I've gone through and took my old wire brush with a scraper and went down through here and cleaned off some of this rust. Scrape some of it off. I did the most part off camera to save you guys the trouble of watching me do this. But I bet if this was a new firebox, it'd be a lot easier. The problem I'm seeing is we got parts in there that are bowed because of the heat. This is just really thin. Now, I've seen some videos where some guys say that Masterbuilt has said that they intentionally built this thing to fail. Well, I don't know why. Maybe so they could sell you a new firebox, I guess. I don't know. But I went through LSS Mods and got this new firebox insert. This side goes towards the fan. There's a grate down in there. Now, this is supposed to fit down in here, but I can see right now it's going to be a tight fit if I can get it in at all. I may have to bend these tabs a little bit to get it started. And then I'm going to take some of this to spray down in this hole, kind of lubricate it, so I see if I can get this thing down in there. Now, got a dead blow hammer and a piece of a 2x4. I'm going to try to bang that thing down in there. Thick stuff. I may have got it enough to get it started. Yeah, I got it. I think this might go down in there. Hopefully it'll get past that section right there. Let me spray some of this PAM in there and get this started. Pretty close to the top here. I want to get this right on the edge and get this down in there. I've heard you want to bottom out in this thing, and I've got a little ways to go. That's it. I'm bottomed out. I can't go no lower. Maybe I'll miss it. No, that's it. That's bottomed out. You know, that wasn't so bad. That PAM spray is a lot better lubricant than it is butter. Who'd have thought? Good thing is, it's It's not WD-40, so we can. It's food grade lubricant, so you know when that starts to burn off, I'm not too worried about what's going to get on the food. But I got that in. Let's get this thing put back together. There. We got that all put back together. It saves you the trouble of watching me drive all those screws. Whatever you do, there's 3 different types of screws that go in this thing. What you got to do is make sure you get all the right screws in all the right holes. Don't ask me how I know. Yeah, I got them all. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to take this, put it right there. It's a heat shield and an extra seal. There's only 2 screws, these front 2 screws, one here, one here. So you leave these two alone. These 2 screws to take out, put that in there, and then put the screws back in. Let me do that right now. I have to take that out. This is going to be a tight fit. We'll get it in there. I think this is going to be tight. Oh, come on, baby. Some big don't want to go in there. There we go. Yeah, that's a tight fit. Sucker did not want to go up in there. The screw just wasn't long enough. I had to push it a little bit to get it back in there. See if we get this one lined up. There we go. It's not going to take much to tighten that thing. I see those tabs are already starting to bend out a little bit, but that's it's going to provide a much tighter seal. May have to back off this latch a little bit. I don't know. I see they're putting a little stress on that hinge. I mean, not a whole lot, but yeah, I may loosen this a little bit. I've got a little bit of play right there. I can take that screw and back that off a little. It's not a whole lot of stress on it. I may just see how that works out. We'll just leave it for the time being. Boy, that's on there tight. All right, on to the next. All right, let's go inside. See what we got going here. I'll take this out. Set it right down here. I'm going to take this out. Set it right down here too. Now this right here goes inside here, and what happens is these 2 pieces sit in that groove right there, and you can set a water pan or a drip pan on there, aluminum pan. And that way, I'm going to show you the inside of this thing. You're going to see why this is going to be a blessing in disguise. Take a look at that. That's from all the cooks that have been done on here, all the crap that's dripped down in there. And what you want to do get this thing, set it on top of that with those two cross members, and then you could put a drip pan on there and you won't have all that. So I'm going to clean that up and we're going to get that put on. Alright, I got this thing cleaned up and put back together. Sprayed a bunch of Pam in there on those rusty parts after I just scraped them with a wire brush and a scraper and got a lot of that rust off there. And there's a couple other things that I need to do. This is a water pan that was sent to me by LSS Mods, and it fits right down here, right above where the heat blows in. So I'm going to put that in, because what I want to do is I'm going to load this up with some charcoal and do a burn off on some of these new parts, and I want to do a burn in on some of this Pam spray, this oil that I put in there, and want it to cook into those rusty old parts. This goes in the ash bucket, and you could set this in there and you could set chunks of wood on it. I'll show you that here in a second. Set your chunks of wood on there, and when the embers fall, they land on that wood and it causes a nice, smoke. You can use hickory or pecan or whatever. This goes in the door where the fan is at. This will protect the fan from embers going through. That's their theory. We'll find out, because when you take this one out, that fan is fully exposed. So hopefully we put this one back in there, it'll let the air flow through and keep embers from going in there. So we're going to protect that fan with that. So I'm going to get this thing loaded up and fire it up, and who knows, tonight we're going to have some steaks, I believe. So let me get this going and we'll be right back. Alright, I got this thing burning off at 450 degrees right now. It's been going for about a half an hour, I guess. I'm going to shut it down here in a little bit. I think I got those new parts pretty well burned off. And when I didn't get burned off yet was it's the griddle manifold that goes inside here. I'm going to do that later when I get the griddle seasoned up and get some of that rust knocked off it and get it seasoned up. I'll put that griddle manifold in there and get them both done at the same time. This is some of that left. I didn't put gasket in. This is the gasket that was supplied to me by LSS Mods. I didn't feel the need. It seems like it's holding pretty good. If I see the need to put it in later, I'll go ahead and do it, and we'll just hang on to that for now. This is the griddle manifold in here. It's brand new. I got it from it came from barbecue.com in Illinois. Of course it says it's made in China, so what are you going to do? This came from LSS Mods too. This goes to the water pan. This is for putting water in when you need water. You're cooking your food, your pork shoulders and whatnot. Your water pan runs low. You just get some water in this thing and just squirt it in that water pan. I thought that was mighty thoughtful of them. It beats getting a cup of water and pouring it in. So anyway, I'm going to let this thing burn off for probably another 15 minutes and probably have some steaks tonight on this sucker right here. So anyway, thanks for joining me. If you got any questions or comments, you know where to put them, right down below. I'm always up for a nice word or some more advice, something I did wrong or anything like that. So anyway, I'll see you next time. Keller's Gazebo. Bye.